Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about a new game that's going to be coming out called KINSHFT, and it's brought to you from some of the minds behind Marvel Contest of Champions, Marvel Realm of Champions. I had an opportunity to sit down with Gabrielle Frazera and talk about this game, so I wanted to share with you what I learned. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Going to be a fairly short video. I sat down with Gabrielle and we talked about a lot of stuff, talked about a ton of stuff. I'm hoping to get that interview out next week. It keeps getting pushed out, but right here, we're going to discuss everything that I learned, that I can remember and made notes on about KINSHFT, because I am excited about what this game is going to bring to the gaming space. So when we sat down and talked about the game, we do know that it is an action RPG game. So when I think of an action RPG game, some of the games that came up during our conversation was Assassin's Creed, Hades. I think when you think of action RPGs, exploring the worlds, the combat style, things like that, that's really what comes to mind. So it's that kind of game, and I'm excited for that. It's not an idle game or a turn-based RPG game or anything like that. It's one that you can really get into and explore, and I think where they're going with this game, I think it really lends to that play style quite a bit. So what does that gameplay look like then outside of the action RPG game, right? So one thing that we talked about was puzzle solving. Let me show you this this press release here. This right here, I thought was pretty cool. We've got our main characters, Nova, Naomi, and Niles, the daughter, the mother, and the father. We also have Newton here. Didn't really talk about Newton. Don't know what's up with Newton, but he's got something to do with this, right? And the game is separated into different ages, right? Each one of the main characters is in a specific age. You got primordial, dystopian, and chimeric. And you can see the years apart that they are. So it's interesting how this story unfolds and how they get separated in these different timelines. So when we start talking about gameplay and style and things like that, one thing that came up was puzzle solving. So like down here, solve puzzles as a team across time. One instance as an example, not necessarily that it's going to be in the game. And by the way, everything that we're discussing here has the potential to change between now and when this game launches. So just as this game continues to be developed, I'll provide updates and progress reports on where this game is, but just understand that things right now could change later. So solving problems. One of the examples is like the mother, she's in the dystopian age, and Nova, she's over in the primordial age. The mother needs some ingredient or an item that's just not available in her time, but is available in Nova's time. So through this KINSHFT, you'll see this mysterious force called the KINSHFT. Kin is in family, I'm thinking. Shift, you're able to communicate amongst each other. She says, hey, Nova, I need this item. I don't have it, but I know you do in your age. Can you get it to me? And the daughter's like, okay, sure, Mom. You know, I'll get it for you. I'll find it. I'll get it to you. So you take a look at what's available between the two ages, right? So maybe in Nova's age, there's this huge building, and it's withstood the test of time, and it's also available in Naomi's time. So Naomi says, hey, throw it in this building, make sure it's secure, and I should be able to see it as soon as you do that. Which is cool because you have that instant aspect, right? Because you're another aspect of gameplay is switching on the fly between the different characters. So you go over to Nova, find the item, venture out into this building, find a spot to hide it, switch over to Nova. Boom, it's going to be instant. Nova's going to be able to grab it and then use that item for whatever she needed it for. So those types of puzzle things I think is cool, which goes into this next piece right here, affect each other's time periods. So the actions that you take is going to impact that timeline both ways, it says. So I think that's pretty cool as well. So not without having too many details, it's just the concept there and the thought there I think is super cool and exciting. I think what they're talking about with this game is something that's fresh as well. So very excited about this. You also meet memorable friends and foes. So we're going to take a look at Gabriel's Twitter because he did show an expanded picture of this guy here, which is some monster truck boss, which I think is kind of cool. So there's the family. There's kind of what to expect from a gameplay style, again, action, adventure, puzzle solving type thing. So I think there's some pretty cool stuff there. One of the questions that I had seen is this a mobile game? Yes. And no. So one thing that we did talk about is, so the game is expected to release on PC, mobile, and console. So as soon as you start hearing about mobile, then the next question is this a free-to-play game? Now, we had a lot of conversation around free-to-play games, the state of the market, things like that. This game here is not a free-to-play game, which is very cool because there's a lot of mechanics in the free-to-play space that a lot of people just don't like, loot boxes, things like that, right? So this is a game that is not free-to-play, and you're going to have a story that unfolds from beginning, middle, and end. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so let's take a look at Gabriel's Twitter. He's been sharing some art here that I think is pretty cool. A lot of concept art about what to expect in the game. You can get a feel for the art style. When I asked about the art style, he had mentioned it's more of this stylized art style, which I've seen quite a bit in games lately, and you can just see in the art that he's showing off here. So if you haven't seen any of his art here, it's some pretty cool stuff. Visit his Twitter. Take a look at what he's sharing, because he is sharing quite a bit. Look at this. This is kind of cool too. And it gives little hints into maybe what to expect, right? Here's that monster truck boss I was talking about that he just shared the other day. You can also see Naomi here and Nova right here. So you can see this little connection here. I think that's where you can click between the two characters, right, and switch the time frames and everything. But this is a boss, so I'm curious if Nova is going to be able to help with the boss fight here. You can see, looks like some sort of a health bar up here. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a companion. And I think in Gabe's Twitter, there was mention about a companion or something like that. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool. I think the art here is awesome as well. All right, so a lot of cool stuff that he's sharing. This was his latest. This it looks like this weapon here. One of the questions too that I've seen is how can you help support the game? The biggest thing really is to head on over to Kickstarter and follow it here. Notify me on launch. I went ahead and followed that so you can get updates on the game and what to expect. And then when it goes into when it becomes a project on Kickstarter, you'll get some more details there. And I think there's going to be different levels once they hit certain milestones, it's going to add certain things to the game, typical things that you would see on Kickstarter. The more money they get, the more options and things that they're able to put into the game. All right, so this last piece, questions about launch, things like that has come up. This was shared with me as well, and which I thought was pretty cool. Launch is expected to be 2025. Now, again, that could change between now and then, but that is the tentative launch, I'll say, for this game is 2025. Again, on PC, mobile, and console. It is an action RPG. Super excited about this. Look at Naomi and her wrench. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, when you take a look at the characters here and what they can do, one thing that Gabriel had mentioned as well is that just kind of taking a look at what each of these says. Nova would be, if you kind of put an archetype to each one of them, Nova would be more like a thief, like roguish. Naomi would be more like a barbarian, and you can tell just because of that massive wrench that she holds. And then Niles would be more of a mage. So I thought that was pretty cool. I appreciate Gabriel sitting down with me. It was a lot of fun to talk with him. We spent quite a bit of time talking about a lot of stuff, not just the game. We talked about Contest of Champions, Realm of Champions, Formation of Kabam, a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping to get that interview out for everybody. But that is what I have for you. A lot longer than I thought it was going to take to get the information out. But definitely keep an eye on it. Follow him on Kickstarter. It doesn't cost anything to follow him on Kickstarter. Just follow him on Kickstarter and keep an eye on this game. Again, super excited. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.